Make sure you check the link for any other links to kind of pertinent news topics or places to look up news. Come to your own opinions, form your thoughts for yourself. But I was looking at kind of some information on Beto O'Rourke versus Ted Cruz in Texas, which is kind of crazy because the first time I heard about this, I was thinking I didn't even know it was even that close in Texas, but I guess some of the cities might be more democratic, but I always kind of pinned Texas as more of a freedom loving, gun carrying, uh just leave me alone type of place. And I had no idea that there was, any Democrat, or at least I did have an idea that there was Democratic footing there. But I think people think of Texas as the way people think of California as a Democratic stronghold and a very liberal place. I just imagine Texas as just a leave me alone kind of place, and especially with a senator like Ted Cruz, who's played a more vocal role out on the country's national stage, and for all as far as I know, seems to be at least a half decent senator. I had no idea it was such a contested race. Now, from what I saw, it's not necessarily as contested. A couple weeks ago, it was, but I think the lead's starting to change. As far as there's starting to be a bigger separation. I believe it was a seven kind of a point spread uh, between the two, with Cruz being the favored. But it's interesting. I mean, it could always change. There's about a month left, a little bit less than a month. It only takes like a day or a week for things to really change. Will it? Probably not. I know he just raised a lot of money, Beto O'Rourke. Uh, Money can make a difference in elections, as I'm sure we're all aware. So what'll come from it? I don't know. I don't know what'll come from it. It sometimes just making a stand makes a difference, because I think that's something that could be said with, Hillary running. You can see that there's many more women, I think, taking an interest in politics because they saw Hillary doing this. Could just be coming off the high of, identity politics and there being the first female candidate or nominee. You'll see in future years, but I can only imagine that, just getting close is sometimes a victory. So this might be something more considerable for Democrats, even if he loses, which it seems that he will lose. But I can imagine the future. It'd be an interesting future to imagine that Texas becomes a state where Democrats have a chance of winning. I have to do more research to see into really how they get their votes. I was actually looking at an interview, and I forget what station it was on, but they were so surprised when it came to Texas that Latino people were thinking for themselves. I forget exactly what it was. What was said. I can't quote perfectly, but it was they were bringing up the fact that Latinos did not vote in a perfect block for Democrats. And I was thinking to myself, is that just like it was just kind of weird. I don't know what was necessarily meant by it, but it just came out really weird, as if they almost believed that Latino people, by their inherent nature, would never vote Republican or have any conservative values. It was weird. It was almost as if they couldn't separate values from race, which is, I guess, part of identity politics. I'm not sure what was. Maybe you can find what the interview was, but Beto O'Rourke running. Do I think he's going to win? No. Does it look like he's going to win? No. He has a lot of money. Yes. Could this be something that has an effect on the future, maybe not just even the state of Texas, but other conservative states, I think it can. And that's probably the biggest takeaway, is that he could have some effects on other Republican or right leaning states.